Hey, Hope Summit family, Chris Walston here. Say, I'm very excited about news we have today. As you've heard Jeff mention several times, July 5th is going to be our first Sunday that we re-enter the building for corporate worship. Now, we want you to be prepared for what you're going to experience when you come on Sunday because things are going to be a little bit different. We've entered into the processes and the procedures that have been set aside very specifically and with great intention. We've followed guidelines on the national, state, local level, as well as our own medical advisory committee that's been put together from people here at Hope Summit. One of the things you'll notice is that currently we are only at a 25% capacity for the building. Now that may change in the future, but stay tuned for updates on that. One important thing we need you to know before you arrive is we'd like to know who's coming. Please go onto the Hope Summit website and follow the links to register for either the 9 a.m. or the 10:30 a.m. service. If you have friends who maybe aren't as tech savvy, feel free to sign them up yourselves. You'll note that there's a comment box on the form and you can just add their names there. We'll make sure they're on the list. Now, let's take a look at what the experience is going to be like when you show up on Sunday. As you arrive on Sunday, we will ask that you park in the west parking lot. That's the large parking lot. However, if you do need an entrance that doesn't have stairs, there are a few spaces available in the small east parking lot. As you get out of your car, look for one of our First Impressions volunteers that'll help you get checked in. Weather permitting, we will have a table outside, and one of our First Impressions volunteers will assist you in getting checked in. First, we'll ask you to sign in. Next, we'll take your temperature. After that, we'll ask if you have a mask. If you do need one, we have a limited number of masks available. And finally, we'll ask you to answer a few questions. After you've done that, feel free to grab some sanitizer and we'll head into the building.
Thanks for joining us.
As you enter the building, one of the first things you'll notice is that we don't have coffee or treats available for the foreseeable future, and we did have to close the water fountains. But if you would like a beverage, please feel free to bring one from home. We do have restrooms available for you as well. If you use the restroom, please remember to wash your hands and feel free to grab some sanitizer on the way out. At this point in time, we also will not have kids ministry available until further notice. Children will be seated with family groups in the Family Center. If you do need to step out of the service, please feel free to come to the lobby. We'll have a feed of the service available on the TV. As you enter the Family Center, look for one of our First Impressions volunteers. They will help you find a seat. Keep in mind at this point in time, we are not going to have bulletins, so that means you'll need to fill out your blue card online through the website. You can do this during the service or once you get home. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our First Impressions team will ensure that you're seated 6 feet apart from other family groups. Just as a rule of thumb, approximately 4 chairs equals 6 feet. Once you're seated, we are going to ask that you stay seated. If you're like me and you enjoy socializing on Sunday mornings, please feel free to stay outside just a little bit longer to talk with your friends prior to coming in. Keep in mind, we will be closing the doors 5 minutes after the service starts to take into account for visitors that may not have been made reservations. One of our First Impressions volunteers will dismiss you by row. Please be sure to take any belongings with you because you will be exiting the room. As you approach the front, you will have the opportunity to give offerings as well as take communion. Take the communion with you. You can take your mask off to take the communion and then drop the cups in one of the trash bins that will be in the hallway. Follow the signs to exit through the courtyard. Once you're outside, please feel free to remove your face mask and socialize with family and friends. We do ask that you keep in mind social distancing guidelines. While you're out here, a group of volunteers and First Impressions team will be cleaning and disinfecting the building for the next gathering. Please remember, if you are choosing to join us for the 10:30 service, doors will open at 10:15. Don't forget to go online and let us know which service you will be attending. If you are particularly vulnerable, please know that we do have services streaming available online. This season will be over soon, and we look forward to gathering together again.